about to witness 30,000 men battle it out in one of the most epic single-player battles ever in Total War. But instead of an AI that blobs up and makes terrible decisions, they are commanded by one of Napoleon Total War's top players with over 4,000 hours in game and the creator of this mod, FCN. You want to introduce yourself a little bit?
I'm Dan. I own the mod. I made pretty much 100% of it until I think it was 7.4. So big shout out to the dev team. Thank you to them for keeping it alive while I've been at uni. Also, as a pre-warning, this battle might not go well for one person, but just know that it's not their fault.
You want to just tell them what you told me?
I don't want to sound full myself.
No, it's the truth. It's good that I know.
But what if I lose? What's being alluded to is the fact that I am quoted to be within the top 3 in the world.
All right, so so basically we've got to take down his artillery on the right flank first. Annoyingly, it's given him this little indent here. He's going to basically semicircle us here with artillery. If we walk into this zone, we're completely screwed.
I have far too much artillery, so what I'm going to try and do is, because he's kind of got a smaller deployment zone, I am going to set up all my artillery to kind of hit every angle, so this one's kind of going sideways and kind of get a nice enfilade shot. Basically, I'm going to try and trap him in.
What we're going to do is put increasing pressure on one flank, and it's going to have to be this flank here, because if we put pressure on his right flank, his artillery on his left is going to swing around and hit us in the flank. So we've got to actually do sort of a fast maneuver here, bring our forces round and hit him here, and sort of fighting withdraw over here to try and stem some of the flow of attack that's going to come from that direction.
The plan is here, I'm going to flank up here, I'm going to try and take some ground over here, set up my artillery along here so I can kind of shoot to the side of him, because if I get good artillery position right along here, basically, if he ever starts engaging my front line kind of over here, I will have perfect shots on him.
And then we're going to keep our heavier guns back to try and outrange his 6-pounders, because he hasn't got that many 12s, to try and take out as many of his guns as possible. And then we're just going to have to hope for the best, because it really is a bad situation here.
None of my units have inspired, which isn't great, but I guess I'm going to have to live with it.
He's expecting me to push up the middle, which I'm definitely not going to do, because it's just suicide. You may also notice that I can see the Austrians, he can't see me. That's because Napoleon has a special ability where that happens, and he's agreed that that's going to be fine. Alrighty. Are you ready?
I am absolutely ready, yeah.
I love your artillery line you've got going there, that's awesome.
You might be able to see my army, but does that mean that you can beat my army?
Yeah, I have Napoleon's magical balloon.
Actually, do you know what? I'm confident. Because I think even with that, you might not be able to beat my army.
Yeah, good luck to you. Well, not really, but...
Wow.
We gotta be super quick here. Let's take a battering from the initial Austrian fire here.
Oh, and I've killed your general.
Marshal Ney has died immediately. Well, that's always helpful, isn't it? General sniping. I couldn't believe it.
Wow, okay.
General sniping. Wow.
Okay, general sniping. Wow. Okay, I understand. You want to be like that. Okay.
Yeah, my men are getting absolutely torn apart here. Can you see any of my army yet, or are you completely blind?
No, I can't see any of your army. The amount of enfilade I'm getting right now is foul.
Yeah, I'm still trying to deploy, that's the problem.
Yeah.
This isn't helping, is it? I'm struggling to deploy for a number of reasons. For one, you can see the expert use of cavalry that Darth Mantis is employing to delay my advance and force my units into square and halt in these trees. I'm also not running my units, which I chose not to because I didn't want to wear them out. Now normally this is a wise move, especially in these kind of mods, since units wear out and tire quite quickly. But since I'm trying to advance in front of several batteries of Austrian guns, I really do need to get a move on. It's interesting, we're not doing as well as I'd hoped over here, but it's not going terribly at the moment.
Oh! I just saw some of the... For God's sake!
General sniping again!
How do I keep hitting generals?
I don't know, this must be part of the Austrian ethos, I think.
Must be. Yeah, your morale's probably not great.
It's not
right
going
now,
well, no, I'll be honest, just
Well, you are getting hit by quite a lot of artillery, and the guys that aren't are getting canistered.
Oh gosh, yeah, look at that canister coming in. I mean, I'm just retreating all over the place. I'm just getting completely squashed by artillery at the moment. I don't think there's any chance of me actually winning this.
Yeah, I think the artillery was far too much. And I mean far too much.
Oh gosh.
So I've not even used I've not even really fought you yet. It was only
no, I can't even get close.
Yeah, well, that was kind of my whole tactic, was I was going to move up there. If you pushed me, then
there's no way
I would have killed you with artillery, and then if you didn't push me, then I could just canister you. So
yeah, we're not doing as well as I hope. These woods are providing me with some cover from the artillery, but every time I form up for an attack, an artillery shot comes ripping through my flank, and this is really my fault for trying to attack a position in front of so many guns. I should have really pulled back a bit and attacked from the woods further around. Eventually I realised that I would never be able to beat the Austrians in a firefight whilst having cannon on my flank, and so commit my line to a bayonet charge. Most of my line gets thrown back, but some units make a stand, and I decide to commit my cavalry to try and secure this small foothold. And suddenly the Austrians are pulling back, no longer contesting the whole true line. This is the time to push forward and attack. My infantry, however, have taken so many losses that most are reduced to half or a third of their original strength. I decide to pull my guard reserve to the right flank and lead the assault on the Austrians entrenched in the woods. My infantry were finally ready to launch their assault, and had 3 brigades formed up and ready to advance. However, this push across open ground gives the Austrian gunners a prime target.
Oh.
I can't really tell what you're shooting at, but it looks like my men are just dying everywhere. Yeah, it's just too late. Can't do anything about that.
The enfilade is actually insane here.
My whole attack is completely broken. The pressure is just too great for my men, and I suddenly realise that I'm too weak to push forward with the remaining troops that I have in the wood. There's a risk that my right flank may collapse completely if I reinforce that failed attack. In hindsight, looking back at this replay, I probably should have just committed my entire 3 brigades rather than 1 brigade at a time to ensure that I had some sort of pressure to put on the Austrian position, but as you can see, my whole line collapsed, and there was always a risk that my whole division may collapse if I committed too many weak units at one time. It's just the artillery, isn't it? It says, and then only 6 pounds. Imagine if there were 12s. I mean, that would be even more insane.
I think it might have been game over by that point.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, that's really cool though. Like looking from the and seeing the artillery on the left.
I decided to take every last unit I've got in the woods and push for one last assault on the Austrian position to try and get out of the mess I've created. As you can see, my men just get completely wiped on my left flank. Oh my gosh, I just saw my whole line get...
Yeah, your line's really not enjoying the artillery.
So I've hardly done any damage to your men on the front there.
Yeah, I think it's because what you're doing is you're approaching, you get shot up a lot by artillery, your men break.
Yeah, gosh.
And then they reform and break again.
I decided to send the remnants of my line into a forlorn charge against the enemy, as if they stayed in the open, they would soon be massacred by the massed Austrian guns. I said, if I push through the center right, like I'm just gonna get, semicircled by artillery. It's gonna be an absolute nightmare.
You see where the forest is, where my infantry kind of is. I was gonna push forwards, so my artillery was firing over me, and then I was gonna swing around and just trap all your infantry with cavalry. But it's more advantageous for me to just sit here, nail you with artillery.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because I'd be giving up a beautiful enfilades. Kind of arena.
Actually, it's really quite interesting to see how difficult it must have been in Napoleonic Wars to push against a strong artillery position. Like in Waterloo, when the Scots Greys charged the French guns. Just think how impossible that must have been, considering what we're fighting today.
I know, that would have been a nightmare position to have attacked.
For example, at Borodino, attacking Russian artillery from the front, if they'd really deployed all their guns effectively, we could have been talking about a French defeat quite easily.
It was just unfortunate that Kutuzov, who I adore, he was ignored by everyone because they all thought he was stupid and old, but he turned out to be the smartest man on the battlefield. It's really hard to tell what went on.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
There's some stuff written about it, but largely, from at least what I've heard, from researching and stuff, Kutuzov deployed a lot of forces in a lot of specific areas, and then all of them were moved without his permission, and so he didn't actually know that a lot of his men were being taken away from where he thought they were. So when he gave a lot of his orders, there was no one there to do that thing.
Right. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It seemed like he over-deployed on his right flank, and then the problem was that the Russian artillery kind of collapsed during the battle because the artillery commander died, and so they left a lot of guns unused on the right and also had a lot of guns in reserve they didn't ever deploy, and so the French sort of outnumbered them in artillery locally rather than actually outnumbering them altogether, because the Russians outnumbered them and they had better artillery.
Borodino was one of the one of the few battles in the Napoleonic Wars where someone could actually match the numbers of the Russians. Not well,
true,
but decently enough. Napoleon could have won it far better because he stopped really going for a lot of tactics and he started deploying the idea of let's just throw bodies at things.
He didn't do well at all. No, you're absolutely
so
right.
He really started to copy the Russian tactic, really.
I can just hear bodies being completely demolished, even from really high up in the camera.
The amount of enfilade shot you're taking.
I mean, my men are holding out pretty well considering.
It's impressive is the word I'd use. It's
the
very
amount of casualties
impressive.
I've taken is quite bad.
Yeah, it's genuinely terrible the amount of casualties you will have taken. Oh, someone fell for the gate. Oh, no, it's because you've got lancers, and so you lose all your lance charge.
I see. No, I didn't know.
I mean, you're still annihilating my men. Oh my god. So, if you charge with lancers, then they have a called charge timer that basically makes it so that you have to wait before you do your next charge, otherwise do it properly.
See, I'm learning new things, guys. This is an educational video.
That's why I threw some
Screening forces.
terrible militia. Yeah.
We managed to beat him back, but we took a lot of casualties. I originally was targeting your artillery, then I switched targets. Now I'm retargeting it again because even if I did target your infantry, I've got to get rid of those guns.
I think this is a tough one here because there's not a lot I can do, but there is one thing I can do, and that is to fall back because I have no inspiring units, and my men really, really don't want to fight you.
Oh. We kind of got to commit now, I think.
Or do you?
Well, if I sit there, I'm going to die. I may as well die doing something good.
Yeah, that's fair.
Come on, man. We've got this.
That's the spirit.
And really annoyingly, I can't push up over this rock. Well, that artillery gun position's gone, but I mean, it's all a little too late, isn't it?
I get the feeling it might be. But you know what? You've actually done quite a good job.
Pushing into this Austrian line is just like hammer a rock with a plastic spoon or something.
Our men are running,
I like the analogy.
It's the best I can think of on the spot. Even though my men have pushed through into the woods and finally are out of range of many of the Austrian guns, I've had to deploy pretty much all my reserves to make this happen and pull a lot of brigades from my left flank over to my right. This has left my artillery position exposed, and an Austrian cavalry charge compels me to fall back. Amazing Austrian cavalry charge here. Yeah, it's pretty epic. Nice epic charge there.
Stand the advance! Charge!
I took the opportunity to launch a frontal charge against the Austrian line in the woods. I needed to break through before the Austrian right flank could come to their aid.
Got me. I did not see that charge. Fair enough.
I'm trying to do anything I can at this point, to be honest with you. Not that I can push up with any reasonable reinforcements, because I don't have any.
Oh my god, my general is taking some damage. Wow. Gen sniping, are we?
Nice hold though you've got here, because it's stopping me pushing reinforcements over the other side. But not much I can. I'm going to have to face your infantry anyway. Now the artillery is battering my squares. So, oh dear, it's going so well.
Well, my men are going to break here because I have no inspire units there, which is annoying.
With the Austrian cavalry just waiting for an opportune moment, and the fresh Austrian infantry advancing my battered French position, I decide to fall back, fearing being cut off and cut down by relentless Austrian attacks.
Our men are running, sir.
Oh, nice infantry charge there.
Thank you.
It's kind of hard to focus on everything in that when you've got 100 units or so. How are you finding that? Is that...
It's quite tough, but you know what? It's a challenge, and that's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's always good to have a challenge, especially if you've been playing the game for a really long time like I have.
I find it awesome. I think it really does kind of show realistically what it would have been like.
It shows the scale is what it does. It really shows you what the battles would. And one thing that I like a lot as well is that it shows that there was a reason people would run in battles, because you wouldn't imagine the artillery to be as bad as it was. But this is without howitzers.
Yes.
This is without all of the guns. This is weak artillery as well. A lot of the time,
Yeah, you're using 6-pounders. It's not even like, you know, anything actually good.
It's terrifying what these people would have been fighting against. Like, it would have been one of the worst things just in the history of humans.
With the Austrian cavalry closing in and forcing my men to square up, I decided to bring my last remaining cavalry squadrons over to support my withdrawal. Nice charge there.
Thank you.
And now, with my attention distracted by manoeuvring cavalry on my left flank, the Austrians launch a cavalry screen to counterattack in the woods. I suddenly realised that in all the confusion I hadn't moved up my reserve line to support my assault, and so hurriedly moved them into position. After throwing back the Austrian cavalry, the Austrian infantry assault is now dangerously exposed in open ground, and I launch a flanking charge to try and chain rout the whole line.
Yeah, okay. I'm kind of in a bad spot now.
With the Austrian infantry assault in the woods having to fall back and my cavalry charge crashing into the advancing Austrians on my left, for the first time in the battle, I seem to be winning.
Where's that come from? Okay, well, you know what? You got me there. I was not expecting a general staff unit there.
He was already dead, so... With the Austrian assault on my left flank faltering, I had to break them quickly before any reinforcements arrived to bolster the line. With cavalry superiority on my left flank, I want to try and keep at least one of the Austrian units in their anti-cavalry formation, allowing my infantry to pour volley fire into their tightly packed ranks. But I failed to withdraw my cavalry quick enough from the charge. Nice.
I was looking. Nice try.
I did it once. Second time not so lucky.
You're not catching me out this time.
The gap between my lines allows a small Austrian cavalry unit to slip through and find my isolated general's bodyguard. Even though the generals are dead, these units are still a valuable asset.
This is... yeah, okay. It's so hard to do this without elites. It's really...
You guys did put up a good fight.
Difficult. You can see there, my man, one man broken because I have no kind of base for my men to have. They'll just instantly gone.
Yeah, I mean, that's the AI just recruiting for you, isn't it? It's interesting. Right.
It's very clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's recruit like 100 units of artillery and 0 elites, so we lose every battle. Alright, I will pre-warn you, I'm shooting artillery where that big clump of infantry is, and the general's close to that, so just watch out.
I'll try and move him. Thank you for your...
Just so I don't murder another general.
Oh, he's on 4 men out of 24. He's doing pretty well. Well, my small token force has managed to push back your advance there, which I'm quite happy about. It's not ideal, but it's...
To be fair, I mean, there wasn't a lot I could do against, because no support, there was no cavalry, there was no infantry. It was just, you know...
Oh, I totally agree. Yeah, you were out of position, but I mean, you were pushing.
But I was pushing it, and to be fair, you did push it back, and it was quite a good push. So... Oh, Napoleon's broken.
Yes? Oh no, that's not good. He's not dead though. This was the worst possible time for Napoleon to break, when I was finally advancing in the woods, and even though I had taken horrendous casualties, Napoleon and other elite infantry units were holding my morale together, allowing me to push against the Austrians. Now that he had broken at this vital juncture, it seemed like the French had lost all hope of pulling off a dramatic victory. Oh yeah, I'm losing units left, right and centre now.
Yeah, I'm getting some pretty rough shots on you here. Ooh, but you're breaking my men here. Nice square.
Oh, look at this land where Black Battalion broke.
Our men are running, sir.
Come on, we can do this, guys. There's no way I've got to fight German Fusiliers. They're going to wipe my men out. I mean, these are German Fusiliers I'm fighting now, but they've been fighting a while. I'm kind of getting backed into a corner here, which is what I expected to happen, but I expected to hopefully have broken through. Oh yeah, we're falling apart now.
Yeah, you're not gonna make it very far. That's one, I think.
I mean, look at the amount of casualties I took in that just in that forest alone. That's just almost unbelievable.
Well, my general has broken. So
Oh, that's good.
hang on. I have rallied though, so I might have saved him.
Still getting hit by a ton of artillery here. Oh yeah, breaking. Yeah, I think he might have taken it.
Left. Do I hear a W falling? Cheeky one, but
looks like
fair
it,
play,
doesn't it?
well done.
I mean, I did better than I thought I was going to do.
You did do quite well.
The amount of casualties I took trying to engage was the reason I lost.
I was, I mean, the light.
I mean, trying to push into that kind of gun position was suicide. I mean, it was going to be suicide down the middle, suicide. I mean, the original plan for me was to push so far right that your guns had to redeploy, but I just couldn't get there without dying.
Yeah,
GG though, look at this.
I didn't predict that. I just knew you were going to try and go around me somehow, because if you would have to be so stupid to try and hit me head on, and I had some faith in you. I had some faith in you to not be incredibly dumb and charge.
Yes.
Heavily fortified artillery position.
Press the forward key.
Press the forward key and charge. There was some part where I was thinking about trying to do a charge up the right, where I was going to try and take your men. I was going to try to take your hill and push you to the left. Which, to be fair, I've done now, but I think at the time I was far too busy focusing on not dying in the left.
You did have some problems. I mean, you had, as you said, you had no inspiring units, so if you did have a big mass rout, it was going to happen, wasn't it? Especially because a lot of landway units you had.
That's why I'm kind of trying to keep them away from my men as much as I can. Just because I know for a fact they would just annihilate my own guys.
I mean, fair play as well. That defensive line on the left falling back and tried to push you whilst you were falling back, and it was just too much pressure still that the artillery was putting on me. You can just kind of see where the battle lines were drawn on from the corpses on the floor. Bellows Wood sort of reminder from World War One. Gosh.
It is very World War One-ish. It's just so many dead bodies.
Well played, though. I mean,
yeah, GG's, well played. You had me for a little bit. To be fair, I'll give you. You genuinely had me scared for a little bit, because I think it was right when my right walked up onto the hill where your artillery was, and that was when I realised how bad it was not having the inspiring units, because like you broke one of my units and the whole line was just good.
Yeah, I managed to get you on a good flanking charge there. I think it was more of a fact that you were looking somewhere else, I think, than pressing the square button, which probably could have stopped my attack.
Yeah. I think the main reason you lost so hard, and I say so hard, is in the fact that you have barely any infantry left.
Yes.
Not the fact that you were bad, because even great players, it just takes one bad break. I think the main reason that your army wasn't able to stand for so long was the forest. I killed 7,000.
Oh goodness!
Wow.
I mean,
I killed 1,000 of my deaths were me killing my own men.
I think you actually outranked me in skill rating now. My cavalry was definitely the best units in that. How many kills did that artillery unit on the left get? I must be able to tell you.
So the highest artillery kill was a 12-pounder with 564. And if that tells you anything, that was one of the ones that didn't move the whole game. It was held firing round shot. And I had a Grenzer battalion that was nearly max rank, 350 kills.
I didn't get anything close to that at all. My highest kill was a Lancer at 250. Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? I mean, my artillery did terrible that game. I mean, some of my units barely got one kill because they just got completely wiped.
They were getting torn to pieces in the forest.
Oh, good game though. That was really, really fun.